For your safety and the safety of others, please pay close attention to the important information detailed in this program, as your actions can impact a lot of people. By doing so, you can help ensure your health and safety and well-being during the stay on board. Welcome on board the Jasper Explorer, a DP drill ship. Jasper Offshore is an international offshore drilling contractor providing efficient, safe, and reliable drilling services to the oil and gas industry. Our business operations should be conducted in a professional way in order to satisfy the interest of our clients, shareholders, and employees. Our core values guide the conduct of our overall business and behavior of each employee at all times. Jasper Offshore is committed to the health and safety of everyone on board, as well as the protection of the natural environment. These commitments are detailed in our policy statements displayed on board. Life-saving plans and equipment. On arrival on board, you have been issued with a T-card. This identifies your cabin number and allocated lifeboat. All internal escape routes to the lifeboat muster point are clearly signposted with photoluminescent signs. All external escape routes are clearly defined with marked walkways and signs. It is important that you keep to the designated walkways at all times, and these are kept free from obstructions. An emergency plan, station bill, is displayed at each deck level, providing details of lifeboats and alternative muster stations, as well as general instructions to be followed in an emergency situation. During this vessel induction, life-saving equipment locations will be shown to you, and instructions for donning these will be demonstrated. Occasionally, potentially harmful situations may arise, and it is essential that every personnel know their location and duties as shown on the station bill, and what to do in these circumstances. Therefore, understanding alarms and what they require you to do, and your role in the event of an alarm is important. Contact the HSE officer at any time if in any doubt. All personnel shall ensure that there is a serviceable life jacket for each bunk in his or her cabin. Contact the HSE or bridge immediately if there aren't enough life jackets in the cabin. Spare life jackets are located at the lifeboat muster stations for emergency teams and on-tour personnel. If the vessel's geographic location requires immersion suits, then these must also be checked. Regular drills and musters are held to familiarize you with procedures, escape routes, and life-saving equipment on board, and all personnel must participate in them as if it were an actual emergency, and must make sure that they're in work coveralls, including general PPE. The master is the only person with the authority to excuse personnel from attending emergency drills. Failure on the part of any personnel to follow safety policies may result in your immediate removal from the vessel. Emergency contact. To raise the alarm in the event of any emergency, use all means available, including activating nearby manual call point and contacting the bridge. Muster communications on UHF Channel 2 or telephone extension 100 or 103. On-scene command communication, use UHF Channel 1. On hearing an alarm, all personnel must stop what they are doing, secure the worksite, and listen for instructions over the public address system. All instructions must be followed promptly and correctly. If you are inside the accommodation areas, upon hearing an alarm, collect your PPE equipment from your cabin and proceed to your primary lifeboat muster station or your alternately muster area as advised over the public address system. On arrival at your muster station, go to your T-card box, either port or starboard, and turn your T-card. Always obey the instructions of the muster checker. Do not attempt to board or launch survival craft until ordered to do so by a verbal order from the captain. The order to board the lifeboats and abandon ship will be given verbally by the captain or the chief mate if the captain is incapacitated. Remember, you have a personal responsibility to check in at your designated muster station. Emergency, fire, and gas. Upon receiving a fire, inform the bridge team. They will sound the general and emergency alarm. Fire and emergency stations are shown on FF and LSA plans everywhere in the vessel. Fire safety. The vessel is protected by automatic fire detection system throughout accommodation and machinery spaces. Any person discovering a fire shall immediately do the following. 1. Raise the alarm. Activate manual call point. Call the bridge on UHF channel 1 or extension 100 or 103, giving the location and extent of the fire, etc. 2. Contain or fight the fire using available equipment, without risking your own safety. 3. If unable to safely fight the fire, evacuate the area and close all doors to the fire location. Repeat vessel emergency number, UHF channel 1, or extension 100 or 103. Fixed firefighting installations are available on board, including inert gas and foam systems for critical and high-risk areas, and wet sprinkler system throughout the accommodation. Portable fire extinguishers are all provided through the vessel. Only use these extinguishers if it is safe to do so until the vessel's fire team arrives. Man overboard. In the event of personnel subsiding into the water, the individual spotting the personnel must start calling out, "Man overboard," and throw the nearest lifebuoy to the personnel or anything that will float in water, and maintain a visual contact on the personnel to direct the rescue craft. Any person hearing the call must locate the caller and relay the information to the bridge. The master is in charge of the rescue operation and will do the needful to recover the personnel, and the rescue craft must be launched only on the verbal order of the captain. In case at night, a light must be directed on the personnel to facilitate visual contact. International ship and port facility security. The vessel has an approved ship security plan and a ship security officer in accordance with international maritime legislation. Where any security threat exists, you will be advised of the situation and what actions you are required to take. If you see any security breaches or have any concerns, please report this immediately to the member of the vessel's crew. Environmental management. Jasper Offshore operates an environmental protection policy, helping to ensure the natural environment is not harmed. SOPEP contingency plans are in place to deal with any chemical or oil spills. Your participation to segregate all waste is required. Always ensure it's placed in the correct disposal receptacles. Never throw rubbish overboard. A waste plan is displayed on board for your information. Medical facilities and injury reporting. There is a fully equipped sick bay on board, staffed by a doctor. You will be shown the location of sick bays as part of your vessel tour. If you have any medicines prescribed or otherwise, It's critical that you inform the medic on arrival. Whether you are working or living on board, all injuries must be reported immediately to the doctor so treatment can be quickly administered. Jasper Offshore has a substance abuse policy in place, which allows the company to undertake random screening. Safety Training Observation System, STOP. Jasper Offshore operates STOP. This is an important element of our positive safety culture and forms an integral part of the Jasper Offshore safety and quality management system. STOP is focused upon the identification of both positive and negative behaviors in conditions during your stay on board. Completed STOP cards should be submitted to the vessel's safety officer or posted in the safety observation card boxes located on board. Permit to work system. Permits to work are required where there is an increased risk to personnel or the structural integrity of the vessel is compromised because of the work on safety-critical equipment or where the work involves any of the vessel's safety systems. The Jasper Offshore Permit to Work system consists of the following permits to work: hot work and cold work. These can be further supported by the issue of isolation or confined space entry certificates. If you are required to use the Permit of Work system, you receive specific training. Job Safety Analysis. Job Safety Analysis, JSA, is a very important part of safety on board. It is a formal written process to define risks, assess hazards, and implement safe work practices for all tasks. JSA meetings are held for tasks where risks have been identified, and all crews involved in the work are required to participate in order to understand the hazards of the job and how they are controlled. Material Safety Data Sheets, MSDS. MSDS sheets are available for all chemicals used on board. These contain health hazard information, PPE requirements, storage requirements, and environmental considerations. These are located in areas where chemicals are stored and in the conference room and on the bridge. Personnel protective equipment. When you are outside the accommodation, the personal protective equipment must be worn. Additional personal protective equipment will be required when performing certain work activities. Please observe the special personal protective equipment notices on board. Always obey any hazard or warning signage displayed on board. Barriers. Some work activities may require areas to be barriered off. The barrier will clearly state that no access will be permitted, and the reason in the barrier will imply. Never ignore a barrier. Red and white barriers mean danger, do not enter. Yellow and black indicate caution, so enter only if really needed and after reviewing the area and asking permission if applicable. Red zones. Jasper Offshore has a policy to operate using red zones that are both temporary and permanent. A red zone is established where a potential danger from above is evident. During vessel operations, there will be lifting operations using the vessel cranes or forklift. Always beware of moving loads and observe any barrier in place. Always stop and look up when coming onto main deck from accommodations or below decks to check you are not walking under a load. All rigging and lifting gear is color-coded to show it was inspected and certified. Ensure you use only the correct color-coded equipment and you inspect it also before use. Any defective or incorrectly color-coded lifting equipment must be quarantined and reported to mates. When working at a height above 2 meters or where a fall hazard is identified below, an approved harness and fall arrestor must be worn. Ensure that the fall arrestor is suitable to stop you before you make contact with object below you. If your work involves the use of ladders, you must ensure that the appropriate ladder is used for each task. Correctly secured where required or footed by another person, it's important that you do not overreach. Use warning notices to warn others. If you have electrical work equipment for use on board vessel, please inform the person conducting this induction, who will get the electrician to verify it is suitable for use on board. All accidents, incidents, and/or hazardous conditions must be reported to your supervisor immediately. Personal hygiene. Remember, all facilities are shared, and living in close proximity to others demands the highest standards of cleanliness and personal hygiene, which ensures comfort for everyone and helps combat the spread of illness and disease. Smoking is strictly prohibited with designated areas. Report any defects with your cabin to the camp boss, safety man, or mates. Good housekeeping is vital to all safe working practices. Keep alleyways and exits clear of obstruction. Always hold the handrail when using the stairs. Jasper promotes the trailing hand method when going downstairs. Vessel movements may be experienced at any time. If you are in upper bunk, ensure the bunk ladder is correctly fitted and secure prior to ascending or descending. Too many accidents have occurred through failure to follow such simple stands. Ensure bunk restraining bars are in place to prevent any falls during vessel motion. Keep the bathroom door closed when taking a shower, as the steam may activate the fire detection system. Air conditioning is provided for your comfort within your cabin. Do not adjust the airflows, as this imbalances the system. Don't tamper with any safety equipment on board. This is provided for your protection. Any breach of the safety rules may result in move off from the vessel. The accommodation is a clean area. Therefore, no work clothes are to be worn within the accommodation. Boot covers are provided if needed to come in with work boots on. Please keep the living areas and cabins clean and free from mess. No food should be brought into the cabins. Work clothes may only be worn by Jasper Offshore crew members engaged in vessel maintenance activities inside accommodation. Work clothes must be stored in changing room lockers. Do not store on top of the locker. Ensure work equipment is correctly stored. Galley rules. No work coveralls allowed in mess room. Clean clothes only. No sleeveless shirts. Ensure you wash your hands before eating. The vessel operates 24-shift system, and we are asked to keep quiet when moving around the cabin accommodation area. Fishing from the vessel is prohibited. Reminders. Please pay close attention to the following safety reminders. Comply with all health and safety and environmental policies and procedures. Act upon and report all unsafe acts and conditions observed. Listen to emergency alarms and respond to the instructions given. Get to know your escape routes and muster points. Report all accidents or near accidents immediately. Comply with all rules. If in doubt, please ask. The master, OIM, or safety officer may be contacted at any time through the radio room. At any time during your stay on board that you are unsure of something safety-wise, operation-wise, or you see where improvements can be made, please feel free to ask anyone questions to get clarity and speak up to voice your opinion on improvements. Your input is a valuable part of the continuous improvement policy that Jasper Explorer works to. Enjoy your stay on the Jasper Explorer and be safe. We want all people to return back home safe and sound, in the same manner as when they went to work.